Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mind Unfiltered for yet another episode. Today, we have the honor of having Paula Badosa as our next guest. Thank you so much for being here today. Thanks to you. Pleasure. So, when did you first realize the importance of prioritizing mental health? Well, in my case, it was because when I was very young and dealing with all the expectations of tennis, I was around maybe 17, 18. I did really well in the junior career, and then I had to change as professional, and it's totally different. And I had to deal with so many expectations back in my country. So I remember having like a lot of anxiety. The results weren't coming because it's really, really tough. And I went through, when I was 18, 19, I went through depression. So then I realized how important was it for me, and especially tennis, that it's such a mental sport. It's so also exhausting, so intense. It's a very beautiful career, but at the same time, very intense and short, you know. And I think when you're 18, 19, you're you're not mentally prepared to deal with all you have around, you know. So in that case, I saw it was very, very important for me, and that's when I started like to work with psychologists and with people by my side. And and in my career, it's been more important the mental side than the rest, you know. Yeah. So, do you ever feel like because you're so successful and well known, people hold back from telling you the truth, maybe out of fear that you may not like them? Because I think that a lot of teenagers experience something similar in terms of they feel the pressure to stay quiet or go with the opinion of the majority, even when it may matter their mental health. 100%. And I think one of the good things is that now a lot of athletes came out to speak about this, and so it's less taboo thing. So luckily, people. Well, in my case, I spoke it when I was very young, and I'm like, hey, we're not robots, you know. But not even athletes. I think in any regular life, we all have our struggles. We all have our insecurities. We all go through mental health issues, and especially when you're like building yourself. You even don't know yourself sometimes. So I think it's very important to work on that. And of course, maybe 6 7 years ago it was like almost impossible to talk about it, but I think thanks to like big athletes, big legends that started to talk, like I've been through that, and the other one said, oh yeah, me too. Yeah. So through their own experiences and speaking up, I think it's still a big gap, and we still have to improve on that, but I think it's getting better. And luckily I think the young generation can look up and see that a lot of them had mental issue problems, because I wouldn't say that it's not even problems, but we go to mental health things, and it's okay to have them. I think slowly the stigma is starting to reduce. So you publicly shared that you're dealing with a chronic injury that could end your career. Has this stirred a sense of self-pity, or do you see it as just another battle, like the one we all quietly felt? I see it as another battle. I see it as another challenge. I see it as a way of testing me, but not even in my professional life, in my personal life also. Since I had this injury that it came 2 years ago, I've changed so much also as a person, and I try. Of course, we all go through days and emotions, but I try to take always the positive things. You know, even from my depression when I was young, so many days I say, thanks to that, I'm the person I am today. Yeah. I'm the maybe the strong woman I am today. So maybe thanks to that, it's helping me deal with this injury. And now, thanks to this injury that is telling me you have to end your career maybe soon, the thing that I love the most, I'm dealing with it. And maybe every time now that I'm working hard, or I'm on court or playing a match, I'm enjoying it more than before. This is 100% true, because I remember before the injury, until I was 25. Yeah, of course I love tennis and I was enjoying the wins, but I was like, I want more. Oh, this is normal. I need more, I need more. And you're like with another type of like path, you know. And since that, I'm like, wow, I value every moment. I try to enjoy more the journey, because you don't ever know when it's gonna finish. So I think that from the tough things, it's where first of all you learn the most. And what I always say, after the storm, the sun comes, you know? So it's a little bit like that. From tough moments, I'm taking the beauty of it. That's very important. Mm. Some small everyday practices that teenagers could incorporate in their everyday routine in order to protect their mental health? For me, in personal experience, I'm doing like, I know it's tough for the new generation, what I'm gonna say, like meditation. Now that everyone is like, oh, but it's so long, or I cannot be like relaxed for 20 minutes. I understand, but there's some exercises maybe that you, with 5 minutes, it's enough sometimes. You know, if you do a daily thing, 5 minutes, it's better than one day, 1 hour. Yeah. So why not? I wake up in the morning, I do 10 minutes, but 10 minutes every day, or having your 10 minutes every day of writing, like having my notebook, expressing your emotions, and that for me is very important. It doesn't have to be 1 hour, 2 hours, but have your like moment for yourself right now. That it's very tough because I think the world with social media, with all the stress we go through and everything, and there's so many distractions. It's very tough to like look inside and have your moment. So in my case, I have like my moment for 10 minutes, 20 a day. For me, that's really important. And one of the things that I think it's important is like to send positive and appreciate what you do every day. Like for me, I sometimes I do like, okay, I journal and three things, good things that I did today. It doesn't have to be something really special, but maybe it was like, oh, today I went for a nice coffee. Yeah. This is something positive. I met with a friend, or I did an amazing podcast. So I'm happy with myself. I'm proud of myself. Today I worked really hard, or I did this exam or this homework. Okay, I'm proud. But I'm going to say it, you know, because we forget. We are like, we tend to forget the good things, but we tend to not forget the negative ones, you know? And that's when the unbalance comes. I do that too. On my note app, I like write down every time something goes well. I like write the date and what. It's very, yeah. For me, it's very important. Yeah. So if you could speak to your 15-year-old self and give her only one piece of advice, what it would it? Well, in my personal experience, I think when you're 15 and you look at like up and you want like time to fly, like, oh, I want to turn out. I remember in that moment, I want to turn 18 very fast and I want to go there. And you're just like all the time looking in the future and you forget to be in the present. When honestly, it's the most beautiful thing in the world in that moment. Like when you're 15, 16, life has to be fun. You have to learn, but also enjoy it, because then the responsibilities will come and the tough life will come. But in that moment, you're not thinking of that and you don't enjoy the present as much. And I remember in that moment, from tennis or from personal life, I didn't live the moment as I should in that case. So as my personal experiences, I would say like, hey, enjoy the moment. Of course, listen to the people, surround yourself with good people, and be in the present. That's very important. And last question: when things get tough, what's your happy place? My happy place always has to be near the sea. For me, it's very important because I grew up next to the sea. I love environments like my hometown, but my hometown is very similar, I have to say, to Greece. So I need places like with peaceful and the sea very near, and like the Mediterranean culture where I grew up. I think also when we're like in tough moments, we tend to go to our childhood memories, you know. Normally people does that. So it's a little bit how I feel, you know, when I'm in a tough moment or tough tournament and I have to come back, or the injuries. I like to go to places like this, or my hometown, or places very similar to that. Okay. Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode.